My name's Sarah. I'm a Norland trained nanny with 18 years experience. I qualified from college 18 years ago. I've been working with private families my entire career. I like to bond with the families, and in fact all of the families I've worked with I'm still very much in touch with. I think it's very important to create that bond with the family, to be able to be part of the family. It's important for the children to have that relationship with the nanny. And I think that sets you in a good stead for your future career dealing with people generally. Working so closely with the families, you get to experience a side of family life that you wouldn't see as an employee to someone else. And you get to experience the ups and the downs with the family, going through the trials and the tribulations, and just watching the children grow and develop under your care, under the parents' care obviously, but under your care as well, is cheesily very satisfying. It's an old cliche, but it really does give you job satisfaction. When I had my own daughter, it knocked me sideways. My experience, my training, my knowledge disappeared faster than a sneeze in the breeze. I found myself slightly floundering and expecting to be much better at motherhood than I was. And my perception then of what a mother has to deal with was altered tremendously. And I realised actually that when I disappear at 7 o'clock at night saying, see you tomorrow, bye-bye, there's a whole world that still carries on when the nanny's not there. And that's really the most stressful bit, when you're suddenly sleep deprived and having to deal with 1,000,001 different things that's going on the next day, having had an hour's sleep and a child that is attached to your hip and won't be put down no matter what. And it was an eye-opener. And I found myself going to college friends who I'm still very much in touch with and asking for their advice. And a few of them turned around to me and said, but you know this, you know all of this. This is the advice you gave me 5 years ago when I had my child. So take a step back. Remember remember who you are. Remember what you know. And throughout the whole of my career, I realised actually I have been advising people on basic childcare for as long as I can remember. And I'd like to think that I could offer something more to people who need just a bit of reassurance, really, is what it's all about. I'd like to think that I could help with feeding issues. It's quite often the simplest solution that is the most obvious, that you then kick yourself for not having thought of on your own terms. The routine. Sometimes people very much struggle to get children into a routine, and it's a lot easier than you think, and it doesn't have to be absolutely rigid minute for minute as some books dictate, but that every child will fall into a natural routine anyway. And because your child isn't eating, as a baby, isn't eating every 4 hours, but every 3 or every 5, doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. There's no set rules for children. They all catch up. They're all unique and fantastic and funny and brilliant. And if you just take that pause to stop and look, then you can really enjoy their childhood as much as they are. I'd like to think as well that I could possibly offer just the basics on just behaviour. If you've got a terrible 2, I've got a particularly terrible 2. She knows her own mind. I think she would put Maggie Thatcher in her place. And just how to deal with that without losing the plot entirely yourself, and knowing when to walk away and choosing the battles and which ones you consider to be particularly important and which you would let go or which you would pretend you haven't seen. That's always a top tip. It is just ignore that. Pretend I didn't see it. And then there's not an issue because they haven't got the attention. I was asked why I wanted to be a nanny when I went to college for the interview. And my response was, I don't think I grew up. Put me in a room with Lego and I'm a happy, happy bunny. Give me a colouring book and I'm set for the day. I really do believe in learning through play with children. It's a genuine joy. It does sound, again, like a terrible cliche and very cheesy, but it is a genuine joy when you've been playing with a child, just playing, nothing more, and then they turn around to you, can I have the green block that says number 3, please? And you know that it's just gone in. And through no massive effort on your part, but just by letting them learn slowly, and just watching them get it is so satisfying. And just, I mean, every age group has something unique to offer. That, you know, when you have a newborn baby and it sits up for the first time, that's exciting. Then it crawls and it walks. I'm at the stage with my own daughter now where she's really starting to talk, and it's hysterical. Some of the things and the translations that we have to provide for other people, but we get what she means. And then just watching them grow confidently and develop into these little people with their own personalities, and they're all so different that it's fantastic. And I've really enjoyed that over the years. I've had a few children now. My first baby turns 19 next month, which is really quite frightening when she BBMs me and says, "Do you want to go out for a drink?" Why not? And then you change a family, and you, to say you start again, but it's a whole new learning curve. It's new children, new personalities, adapting yourself to having to deal with their little quirks and needs. And it is a genuine pleasure to do it.